Battlers, I am back. Welcome to another episode of the Knighted Podcast Roster Review Edition, and it is here. Here it is upon us. The Dylan Brown Bowl, baby, that's right. This weekend, we host our fellow 2001 grand finalists, the Parramatta Eels, back home at McDonald Jones Stadium this Saturday. Battlers, and both teams fresh off the bye. But the Eels will be coming in without their chief playmaker, without their Mitchell Moses, as his former halves partner, Dylan Brown, is set to face his old club in his 150th NRL game since departing the Parramatta Eels. Well, a lot has certainly changed, hasn't it, since the last time we played the Eels? You'll remember the season closer of 2025, that horrible defeat, 66 points to 10, I believe it was, the final chapter in the Adam O'Brien era. But yeah, geez, haven't the tables turned on the Parramatta Eels, with the Newcastle Knights sitting nice and firmly within the top 8. Fifth, I believe, we are currently on the ladder. Sixth, maybe? Sixth, with the Parramatta Eels struggling, languishing, you might even say, 14th on the ladder. So certainly a very different scenario than the last time we did face them. But look, plenty to sink our teeth into this week. Not only will we be previewing that game, we'll take a little look at the Knighted news this week. We'll give you our player battle matchup brought to you by Metalman. Your grain-fed lock-it-in predictions. Give me your origin ones and your game day ones. Battlers, start typing away. We'll start saving them for later in the show, and we'll be answering your get out of life fire safety training burning questions. Battlers, so sit back and get ready as we take a look at the Justin Holbrook outlook of our round 13 clash against the Parramatta Eels. Baby, let's go! Chew on that. Do you know who can go bloody chew on that? That's the dirty Queenslanders. That's right. State of Origin football is right upon us, Battlers. So let's indulge in a little bit of Origin chat, shall we? Now, tomorrow night, Lou and I, as well as the great Hainsey, the famous Hainsey, Joel League of Inches, heard of him, we'll be going along to the Caxton Street Brewing Co. They have graciously hosting us, the New South Wales Blues stream team. We're going to be doing some content down there. They've hooked us up with a prime table, a bar tab, and everything. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. Unfortunately, Lou, I don't know if you saw the memo, Retro cannot make it. He's been tied up elsewhere, which is other commitments. He's a busy man, which sucks, but we're going to be converging for game 2 and game 3. It's something we're building more and more and more. So if you're a fellow New South Welshman, well and truly entrenched in enemy territory here in Queensland, get along to the Caxton Street Brewing Co. It's a safe space. We're all there. We're going to congregate. We're going to take over the fucking joint, all right, along Caxton Street. So shout out to the Caxton Street Brewing Co. for hooking us up there. It's going to be a good time. Going to be a late night, but it's going to be a good night, Lou. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you my lock-it-in predictions while we're having a little bit of a yarn about Origin football. I'll tell you what's going to happen. Jacob Saifidi, 2 games for the Blues, already got the 2 tries. He's got a better strike rate than Kalyn Ponga. Kalyn Ponga's had 10 games, and he's only got 2 tries. So Jacob Saifidi, 3 from 3, baby. Lock that shit in. Keep saying it. Whenever the great Saifidis get called upon for their state, they always rise to the occasion and get the job done. He's been unfairly criticised, and he's just gonna fuel this man even more, just to run over some Queenslanders and bag himself a meat pie. I wonder what that's paying, but it's juicy, and I want a bit of it. And your boy Dylan Lucas. Now, I got a little bit hammered in some comment sections. People coming at me and going, Link, mate, we've been saying Dylan Lucas is going to be playing Origin football for 2 or 3 years. What are you saying? Well, if they had been saying it, they hadn't said it publicly with their chest out like your boy here was doing. They might have just been quietly whispering that to their mates or something like that. But I'm telling you, I was the first. I was out there publicly stating that. And I was the one copping the licks for it too. So I'm not letting anyone take that away from me. I locked it in. I was the first to publicly do it. And then Months after the fact, all these other pundits are starting to jump on the bandwagon that I built with these two fucking hands, battlers. So no one has taken that away from me. Now, circling back to Dylan Lucas, he is going to debut this weekend, all right? It's going to happen, and the man's going to get a line break. It's going to happen. The Queenslanders are not prepared for the footwork of Dylan Lucas, all right? Lock it in. JSAF getting a meat pie. Dylan Lucas line break. Just going to be carving shit up on that left edge. Lock that shit in, baby. Cannot wait. Tell me, though, in the chat, is there any Origin chat? Is anyone getting fired up? Have we got any dirty Queenslanders in here? We better not have any bloody dirty Queenslanders in there. It breaks my heart when we see some battlers who are staunch Knights supporters, but then also go for Queensland. It's much like Kalyn Ponga. It breaks my heart that I have to dislike the man for 3 games a year. It really is. Like he's like I'm like a jilted ex for 3 games a year. I feel like he's cheating on me. It feels like I'm watching my other half just away with another person. That's how it feels like seeing Kalyn Ponga play for the Maroons in Maroons camp. And just seeing him in Maroons kit, it makes me ick. I don't like it. I would give anything. There is a universe out there where he is a New South Welshman, and that's a universe I wish I lived in. But sadly, that's not the case. So talk to me, Lou. Is anyone talking anything Origin? Hit me.
Clinton said, let's go the Blues.
Let's go the Blues. I'll tell you what, there's going to be, I'm going to be honest. Laurie Daly doesn't fill me with a great deal of confidence. I'll say that much. I trust our boys. Don't know if I trust our coach, if I'm going to be blunt, because the man's only tasted a series win once, albeit it being a very good victory in 2014. I was in Townsville when we did that. I don't know how I made it out alive. I was the only New South Welshman in the pub, copped it all weekend, all night, and I sprayed every Queenslander. The moment that siren rang, Jared Haynes jumping into the crowd, Trent Hodkinson, fucking Josh Reynolds. Oh, that was a fucking good time. But
Josh said, Blues to reduce the force of Kalyn.
Yes, reduce your force now, Kalyn. Yes, by all means, reduce your force now. Take Liam Kennedy's advice and reduce your force immensely, Kalyn Ponga. So, but yeah, so the Queenslanders, they can go chew on that. Do you know what? You want to go chew on, battlers? That's right. Some quality beef jerky that is going to hit you harder than Jacob Saifidi is going to be hitting Queenslanders. That's right, beef jerky, quality beef jerky that hits you harder than a front row. Make sure you go load up on your game day fuel by visiting them at beachjerky.net and go grab yourself some game day fuel. The punters along Caxton Street couldn't get enough of the stuff. Great content we did there with the guys from Beach Jerky. Huge supporters of us here at the United. Now, if you want to support us here at the United, please buy, if you can. We're all over social media. We keep saying it. We're social media herpes. You cannot get rid of us. You might as well follow us. We're fucking everywhere. Wherever you're wasting your time on social media, make sure you go follow us, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you want to support us here, check out the show notes. You can go sign up to our exclusive Patreon page. We're just a couple of battlers trying to give you the best independent Newcastle Knights content we possibly can. Oh man, I nearly ran out of breath saying that one.
You did.
Holy shit, that was a stretch. For as little as $5 per month, $10 per month, you can get into the exclusive Club Nitanium Discord, and $25 per month gets you into the Lock It In Championship. You feel like you can predict what the Knights are going to do better than anyone? That is the competition for you, and you will go in the running to win the championship belt. All right, battlers, let's do it. Let's take a little look at the night of news, shall we?
It's the night of news.
All right, not necessarily Newcastle Knights news, but major news for the NRL nonetheless. Current NRL CEO, Andrew Abdo, he's thrown in the resignation. He's done it. I wonder how that went down. But yeah, he's going to be going to Tennis Australia. I was thinking about it today. How boring a job would it be to go from running the NRL and everything the NRL throws at the media, right? It's just the gift that keeps on giving the NRL to tennis. Like, let's be honest. What is the biggest scandal tennis has had to face in the last decade? There's been nothing. And maybe that's why he's done. He's just like, I don't need the drama. I just want to go to Wimbledon. I want to see everyone wear their fancy white shit and go hit hit some tennis balls, and relax. Sip some wine and dine, and just that'd be it. Unlike, getting on the beers and trying to put out rugby league fires across the NRL. But yeah, took over the job from Todd Greenberg back in 2020. He is going to remain the CEO up until July 15th, so a little bit of a transition period, but I believe PVL is going to be the interim CEO. So he is going to be the Grand Admiral. He has just got supreme fucking powers. I think they should honestly rename Peter V'landys like the Emperor of Rugby League at this point in time. He's the chairman and the CEO. Like, he's just the supreme leader at this point. I think they're just got to change the name. Do we even find a CEO? I'm more than happy just to give it to him. Complete, not a dictator.
Justin and Matthew said you for CEO.
Oh, me for CEO. Oh, mate.
Hashtag link for NRL CEO. And Matthew said, put your hat in for the CEO job link.
I would be so incredibly biased. I would like to think that in all fairness, I would like to feel like I'd have no judgment, but I tell you what, there would be some serious favourable deals coming our way, and my first order of agenda would be kicking the Broncos out of the comp. I'd be coming to the PVL, said we have to get. There'd be a massive PowerPoint presentation I would have put together outlining a 12-step plan to boot the fucking Broncos out of the comp and strip them of every comp they've ever won. I'd find a way to do it. That would be my first order of business. I appreciate that, but geez, it would be a tough job. And you know what? Comment away, chat, what you think. But fuck, I honestly believe both PVL and Andrew Abdo have done a fucking phenomenal job. Hasn't been perfect, but no one is perfect. What does even perfect look like? Let's be honest. Like, to come in when he did, like, to be a sports administrator, to be kind of any administrator, but to be in the media sphere and professional sports, like at the peak of COVID, the NRL were real trailblazers. And I know Peter V'landys gets a lot of credit for what he's done, but his partner in crime, Andrew Abdo, he should get a lot of praise too. Where we were under the Todd Greenberg regime, it was stale. It was boring. It wasn't going anywhere. Look at us now. We've got fucking Vegas just absolutely going off its tits. We've got expansion on the horizon, something that just was never going to happen under the old regime. And it just feels like rugby league is bigger than ever. Bigger than ever. Like, I know the numbers back that up. There's a TV rights deal just around the corner. I'm sure that is just going to elevate the NRL into a whole new stratosphere. They're looking at buying the Super League. It is just, it's basically aim for the star. What's the saying? Aim for the stars, land on the moon. Something like that. Am I getting that? It. Something like that. Yeah, I know this again, nothing's ever going to be perfect. I don't even know what that looks like. But, with the 6 agains and all that sort of thing, I think, honestly, from where we were as a competition and how absolutely exposed we were, like, basically, we had to get this back on the road because there was nothing in the bank for the NRL to fall back on. Unlike AFL, who had the luxury of having all these assets and money in the bank to ride out COVID, we didn't. So I think this administration with Peter V'landys and Andrew Abdo should be commended. And we'll go down in history as one of the great administrators for our competition. Really, really do. I think it's never been in a better spot. It's just, I'm not making this about me specifically, but you only got to look at the content creator space, right? Like, when we are thriving, which it absolutely is, like, there is no better space in Australian like alternative media than there is in rugby league. Like, good luck finding a fucking AFL the amount of AFL platforms that you would see in the NRL. Like, they're everywhere. And I think that is just a direct reflection on how well the NRL is doing. So, unfortunate, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But you know what? I'm just more than I think we just call Peter V'landys the fucking supreme leader of rugby league and just get it done. Emperor, what was it? Not Emperor Palpatine. We're just going to call him Emperor V'landys. I'm more than happy. A complete and utter dictatorship. Lord V'landys, I bow to you. Do whatever you want. As far as he wants to take over global Rancy's thing. If he wants to build a rugby league empire, I'm all for it, Peter V'landys. Sign me up.
Nicholas said, Knights, no salary cap.
Yeah, there would be some very favourable deals. very favourable for our Newcastle Knights. I
Both-
could guarantee you that.
Both Matthew and Christopher said one thing that keep the NRL going is the New Zealand team and supporters. Christopher said we need another New Zealand team.
Yeah, that would be. You know what I'll do? I will take the Broncos license off them, and I'll be jetting straight over Christchurch, and Ipswich will get a team. Brisbane can just suffer. They'll have to go do without that. That'd be my first order of business, 100%. New Zealand definitely does need a second team, but that's another argument for another day. But yes, moving along, some more night of news. Baxter Best, remember the name. I tell you what, Brady's parents, they got to be given an award for some of the best naming of all time. Bradman Best and Baxter Best. Now, Baxter Best, younger brother of Bradman, a fellow Ipswich State High student. So, you know, I did all right. I turned out okay coming from Ippy High. I think they did a good job with me. So I think that's a massive tick in the box. I think they would have looked at and gone, who's come through the system at Ipswich State High? And they went, Lincoln Ison, class of 2004. Fucking this guy goes all right. Baxter's going to do just as well. Now, negotiations with the Knights are reportedly so. There are 3 other rival NRL clubs reportedly also looking at his signature. So he's a little bit of hot property at the moment. He plays in the outside back, center, wing, fullback at the moment. Currently in the Broncos system, which breaks my heart. He's in the junior comp, their junior team, what have I got here? South Logan Magpies currently. But yeah, this is really good news. This would tell you, right, that this is great for Baxter, obviously. But for us to maintain Bradman, and I don't think Bradman's going to go anywhere anyways, but this is good signs, right? It's particularly if Baxter does come down. Unlike Tyrone, I don't think Bradman is going to do a Leo Thompson, drag his brother all the way over from another country, all the way over from another code, just to go, yeah, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to dip. Bradman's not going to do that. How's poor old Tyrone thinking, Leo, you just dragged me to a fucking wooden spoon team. Here I am just doing my shit over in New Zealand in Union, and then you bounce anyways and you just leave me here. Brady's not going to do that. So, yeah, keep an eye on that one. Baxter Best.
Justin said, so we would be calling them BB1 and BB2 if Baxter plays with the Bradman at the Knights.
Yes, absolutely they would. Yeah, Brady Best and Baxter, yeah, try and say that one 10 times in a row. But, yeah, exciting stuff. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. I'm sure we'll hear some news very, very shortly what Baxter Best ultimately decides where he wants to go. All right, that'll wrap it up for this week's Night of News. Let's sink our teeth into the teams that Justin Holbrook and Jason Riles have named for their Round 13 clash at McDonald Jones Stadium this Saturday. Now, might I add, sorry, Lou.
Before you start, there's someone called Talking Para on Instagram that says, fuck the Knights and we are coming for the cup.
Now, Adam. I knew you. I'm surprised you didn't send in a voicemail, mate. If you're a brighter person, you probably would have. Who names it the Dylan Brown Cup? When it's obviously the Dylan Brown Bowl. It just flows off the tongue. Dylan Brown Bowl, the Dill Brown Bowl, the Dylan Brown Cup. What? What are we doing? You can't even name the fucking competition right, mate. Yeah, this is. I know we had the inaugural one last year, but let's be honest. This is the real deal. This one here, this weekend, we've got our hands on Dylan Brown. It's just a shame that you don't have Mitchy Moses. That would have been a real good showdown. His 250th up against Dylan Brown's 150th NRL game. But anyways, enough of that. Let's sink our teeth in it. Let's get started into the spines for either team, shall we? Kicking it off, Kalyn Ponga has been named to start this game with Sandon Smith and Dylan Brown once more in the halves, and Phoenix Crossland at dummy half, moving across to our opposition. Isaiah Iongi makes his return for the first time since round 4, with Joash Papali'i and Ronald Volkman shifting from 5'8" into halfback, with that position vacated by Mitch Moses. Obviously getting I think it was a calf or hamstring tightness, I believe it was, at Blues camp. So major blow for the Blues. I love Mitch Moses. 3 games of the year. Absolutely. I've always liked Mitchy Moses. I know Adam fucking hates the Knights. I really like Mitchy Moses. He does remind me a little bit of Joey. And Kalyn De Silva, I think, who has the most impeccable eyebrows in rugby league. And I think you will be the best judge of this, Lou. I need you to go look at Kalyn De Silva's eyebrows and get back to me, because they are absolutely fucking impeccable eyebrows. Great to see unchanged. Obviously, it's going to be up in the air. Is Kalyn Ponga? A lot of these guys we're going to talk about. This is a funny roster review show because, are the Origin boys going to back up? Now, historically, I believe, shout out Max McKinney of the Newcastle Herald, was messaging him earlier, asked the question, has Kalyn Ponga always backed up from Origin or not? He believes that there was one game that Adam O'Brien had rested him. If you know in the chat, please let me know. 10 points to the first battler. Who can let me know? Has Kalyn Ponga backed up or on each occasion, or has there been, one or two occasions that he has not? I suspect he would. If I'm a gambling man, I think he's going to. I think he's going to want to put the ringer through Parramatta. I don't think he needs to play, and I say that with all due respect to Parramatta. I'm thinking of Troy here. I'm so torn with Parramatta because I love Troy. I think he's a great man. But Adam, in his eternal hatred for the Newcastle Knights, I'm really torn on how I feel about the Parramatta Eels. I don't like saying bad things. I know it breaks Troy's heart, but I do like saying it because I know it pisses Adam off at the same time. But yeah, Sandon Smith and Dylan Brand. It was a little clunky, wasn't it, to start Magic round, was it? The combinations weren't quite there, but once it got into its groove there, Sandon came to light and that combination started to build really nicely. I'm still a little bit on the fence whether we just keep Fletcher and Dill cooking, let that combination just marinate more and more and more and more. But look, hey, who am I to go against what Justin Holbrook's done? Let's be honest. So going to be super exciting to see that. Obviously, Dylan Brown. Where's Dylan Brown's headspace going to be at the moment? Going against his old club, I would love to know. I'd honestly love to know, because obviously he was in the Parramatta building for a long, long, long time, plucking him out of New Zealand. So, he'll eternally have a soft spot for Parramatta. Obviously made a grand final with them in 2022. Unfortunately, went against one of the greatest rugby league teams ever assembled in the Penrith Panthers. But yeah, it's just going to be interesting, because I know last time when we did play them, I stated, if there was ever an opposition player I wanted to see completely and utterly torturous, it was Dylan Brown in the Parramatta colours against us. I know it's fucked up to say, but in the context of what was happening, and we knew he was coming, I just wanted him to just completely run amok on our team. We were already going to win the spoon. It was just going to validate my argument as to why he was such a good signing for our club. But yeah, I think he's going to have a good game. He's going to have a really, really good game. Now, look, the Eels, I don't know what to make of the Parramatta Eels. I think that the Parramatta Eels are kind of stuck between a rebuild that they know they need to do, but they obviously want points now. It's, what do they say? Don't expect short-term results out of a long-term plan, if that kind of makes sense. They're kind of in this weird middle area. Jason Ryles, gun coach, but let's be honest, they've had some huge defensive lapses, like even to kick the season off. What did fucking the Storm smack them 52 points or something? And then the Titans. Imagine having the Titans put 50 on you. Gross. They're just super inconsistent. I know probably out of all teams, I know we've certainly had our run of big injury, but they have just been absolutely bashed with the injury stick. They've had some massive injuries, long-term injuries as well. So that's certainly not helping the cause as well. Obviously, they've probably gone through a little, the dreaded R word, a little bit of a rebuild. Jason Ryles still trying to get his fingerprints and his identity on this team at the moment. So I guess Parramatta supporters need to be a little bit patient. I don't think, let's be honest, I think coming into this season, I think anyone really seriously considered Parramatta to kind of be a premiership top 8 threat. I say that respectfully. I know I certainly felt like we were going to be massive improvers, but I guess, a lot of Parramatta supporters would be a bit disappointed. Mitchell Moses, I know there's a lot of criticism, much like what the Knights were 20 odd years ago when we didn't have Joey play for us, it would just crumble. And that's basically the same thing with Mitchy Moses. And so it should be. The guy is an absolute weapon. I love him as a half. Super competitive guy, but I really don't know what Jason Ryles, creativity has been a problem for him. You look at all their attacking statistics; they are certainly not world beaters there. When their attack's not great, they have conceded the most amount of points this season. So when attacking isn't great and you're leaking a shit ton of points and you're just inconsistent and you've got your main playmaker out, I think it's going to be a long afternoon. Coming back to Mac Jones, both teams fresh off the bye. It's not going to be great. But
going back to Ponga, Nicholas said, I'm pretty sure he's been rested in the past. And Tony said, Dragons game last year, he wanted to play, but AOB said no.
Okay. So there is a history where, historically, all right. So it's not a lock-in that he will. If I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't mind it. I know there was Bradman Best backed up year before last, I want to say, and he got injured during the Broncos game. Remember, he came out in the first 10 or so minutes in that horrible fucking conditions at Mac Jones. I mean, it was windy and wet. It was shit. It was gross. Broncos had lost 6 straight. I drive down, spend fucking hours in a car with a dickhead Broncos supporter, only for us to get beaten and play them back in the form. Ugh, gross. So yeah, I guess coming off some injury. Look, we're coming down to this game. We're gonna get to our plans coming down to this game in a moment. I would love for us to go see Kalyn Ponga rip and tear once more, but I would completely understand for the longevity of the season if you're going to rest an absolute Ferrari that is Kalyn Ponga. Anyways, Isaiah Iongi, absolute weapon, a guy they plucked out of the Panther system. A guy making his return, I'm sure Jason Ryles was at least thankful. He's going to get some sort of attacking spark back in this team. Going to be interesting. He's only played the 26 NRL games thus far. Missed a huge chunk of football. Might be a little bit rusty. I'm sure the Knights are going to try and want to absolutely get under his skin and rattle him in his confidence a little bit. It's a long time to be doing a little bit of rehab. So let's hope we get the job done on them. Did you have a look at Talon De Silva's eyebrows?
They are quite intense.
They are fucking intense, are they? I can't seriously recall more intense eyebrows, more impeccable eyebrows in the NRL. They are like absolutely immaculate. Immaculate. Sponsored by Ella Vache, I'm sure. Talon De Silva, respectfully. All right, let's do it. Let's take a look at the outside backs for the Newcastle Knights with a completely unchanged backline to what we saw at Magic Round with our boy Dominic Young and Dane Gagai on the right edge with Fletcher razor sharp plugged straight back in that center position. Picked up my 3 Knighted player points last week. Tell me, what do you think? You want to see him continue cook there and fill in for Brady? Let me know in the chat. And Greggy Marzi, the man that has scored 9 tries in 3 games. You heard that right. 9 tries in 3 games for Greg Marzu. Absolutely outstanding. Moving across on the left edge, we've got Josh Addo-Carr, the leading try scorer for the Parramatta Eels. 6 tries in 10 games. Isn't that cute? 6 tries in 10 games. Greg Marzu can do that in 2 games. Respectfully, Josh Addo-Carr. The Perth Bears bound. Sean Russell on the left edge with Jordan Sanrami and Brian Kelly for the Parramatta Eels on that right edge there. But let's do it. Let's sink our teeth into this week's player battle matchup brought to you by the Medal Man, because every battle deserves a medal. At the Medal Man, they specialize in high quality custom medals and awards for sporting clubs, competitive pricing, fast turnaround, and that friendly local service battlers that you just know and love. From junior carnivals to the big grand finals, they'll help recognize every single achievement and style. The Medal Men, where every win deserves recognition. Let's take a look at this week's battle, and I've got the 2 speed demons themselves, Josh Addo-Carr going up against Dominic Young. Now, look, I would not have pushed back at you at all if Josh Addo-Carr were to have been named to play a little bit of Origin football. Weapon, fast. Let me know in the chat. All right, 100-meter dash. Who's winning it? Josh Addo-Carr or Dom Young? Let me know. Start typing away right now. I want to know. I think Dom's got him, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think full stride. Josh might get him out the gates a little bit, maybe on the first 10, 15, but I think Dom's just mowing him down after that, if I'm going to be honest with you. But yeah, like those stats that I read out to you before, we did talk about just how well the Knights, the wingers particularly, are just, typify how well the attack's going for us at the moment under this Justin Holbrook regime. Respectfully, both sitting at equal third and fourth top try scorers in the competition so far. I think 14, no, probably more. I should have looked at that actually beforehand. Let me know in the chat how many tries of Dominic Young and Greg Marzu. I forgot to put that in my notes, but I sure as shit know it's more than the 6 tries that Josh Adokara scored, who was the leading try scorer for the Parramatta Eels. So just goes to show you the vast difference of where our attack is at the moment compared to that of the Parramatta Eels. Our boys just absolutely scoring points for fun, and I'm sure that is going to continue. But I really like this battle that's going to be played on that field. I think it's going to be a really good little juicy battle between those two guys. So I will have my eye out for that. But yeah, Razor Sharp obviously filling in once more for Brady Best. I like it. He picked up look, let's be honest. He's just one of those guys. I don't care where you play him. I really don't honestly care where you play this bloke. He'll just do a job. He's just like the Swiss Army knife rugby league player. If Justin Holbrook needs that, he'll just go do it. He's like the ultimate, like a handyman. Doesn't matter what you need. If your computer has a virus, or you got a clogged fucking gutter, or you need your fucking lawns mowed, or I don't know, your dog washed, the man will do fucking literally anything, and he'll do it 10 out of 10. That's razor sharp. That's just what he is. That's the kind of football player he is. It's going to continue. He gave me no doubts. He went toe-to-toe with Jojo Fafita. And I said it last week, like, if someone were to show you the tape and go, all right, of these two guys going head-to-head this game at Magic Round, one of these two guys is an Origin player, I sure as shit guarantee you most people with functioning eyeballs who know rugby league football, they wouldn't even need to know rugby league football, let's be honest, would say, Fletcher Sharp, guy's a fucking weapon. I say that with all due respect to Jojo Fafita, but yeah, look, he's going to get the job done. I don't think there's any questions there. And Greggy Marzu is just going to continue giving us fine form. The question is, how many tries does Greg Marzu, formerly known as Greg Lalicio, I'm sure that's what the Parramatta faithful will be calling him. So thank you, Troy, for once again schooling us on Greg Marzu's former identity as Greg Lalicio. Greg Lalicio is going to be just running amok on you. Another one you let slip through the cracks there, Parramatta. That one's going to sting. You got Dylan Brown and Greg Lalicio fucking running rings on you. Sucked in. All right, let's move across to the forwards. Unchanged once more with our boy Dylan Lucas named to play. He'll come out of Origin camp, slide straight back into that left edge with Jermaine McEwen, Trey Mooney, Jacob Saifidi. After he's got his try in Sydney against the Queenslanders, he's coming back with Matty Croker. How good is it seeing Matty Croker in around the Blues camp? We're going to circle back to Matty Croker. Moved across to the Parramatta Eels. We've got Kelma Tuolungi, Katoni Katoga, Luca Moretti, Jack Williams, and Jack DeBellin in the lock forward position. Matty Croker. Wowee. It was just like, when you just time things perfectly in life, and here I dropped this video where we just glazed him. You guys gave him your Titanium Forge Player of the Week. Laurie Daly has to be watching us at this point. He just has to. He's coming and going, nah. The Battlers, they're just given this bloke the Titanium Forge Player of the Week, a highly coveted award by some absolute, the most learned supporter base there is. The most diehard, respected supporter base. If they know what they're doing and they're just dishing this guy at all the votes in the world for being the best player in the field, well, I need to get him in the Blues camp. And I was so glad to see it. And I keep saying it. Whenever I post anything Matty Croker, current and ex-players come out of the woodworks and praise the guy. And you go check the comment sections of that, and that's exactly what it was. I'm so stoked for this guy. Breakout year for this guy. And it's no doubt whatsoever that Justin Holbrook has just gone, nah, mate, here's your 13 jersey. This is what I need from you. And just leaning into what he does best. There's a couple of times he's got a contract extension here or there, and it's just kind of like Brody Jones, I guess you could kind of compare. You kind of like, is this guy, where's his future? Is this going to be a guy that plays Super League and never kind of hit his heights that we knew that was in him? But boy, oh boy, Justin Holbrook has absolutely made Matty Croker a first grader, and he is a huge reason why we are doing so goddamn well So I'm just glad to see him getting a little bit of recognition now. And I'm sure coming to that Blues camp and just being in and around that, what kind of bloke are we going to get come back to our club this week? Oh, look fucking out. But yeah, look, again, Parramatta, respectfully, I really don't know what to say, to be honest. Look, your forwards might be doing a job for you, but I think, I don't know. I've given us the tick in the box here, unequivocally. I think we're going to get the job done against this forward pack, if I'm going to be completely and utterly honest. Even if they do get a bit of go forward, I just don't see what the spine's going to be able to do, where they're going to create, where their points are going to come from, and much like I was saying about the Dragons, without, if they had Mitchy Moses there, who Mitchy Moses has done a job on us numerous occasions. I think I read a stat of the last 9 times we played Parramatta, they've beaten us 8. And Dylan Brown has only lost 1 game to the Knights in his entire career. Isn't that insane? My Lord, I didn't realize they had like the stick on us there for so long. But anyways, let's move across to the bench for the Newcastle Knights with Mr. Hommus, Harrison Graham, the man who just inked the 1-year extension, with Tyson Frizzell, Pastrami Solo, Cody Hopwood, Tommy Cant coming in, and Fletcher Hunt to round out the interchange bench with Dylan Walker, Charlie Geimer, Tony Matale, Harrison Edwards, Apatwaddle, who is also headed to the Perth Bears, and T-Com Brown rounding out the interchange bench for the Parramatta Eels. Look, I don't know really what. I never have much to say about the benches, if I'm going to be completely honest. I know Dylan Walker, huge versatility there. He's been a really, really good signing for the Parramatta Eels. Can, slot into numerous positions there. So he's going to be a bit of a danger guy. He could honestly be a guy that could bring a little bit of spark, like kind of what we've been seeing from Harrison Graham. We haven't seen it of late, but earlier on the season when Justin Holbrook would play Harrison Graham, and we just find points and just, really start to turn the tide, or really start to fucking put the foot on the throat of our opposition. So Dylan Walker can be that guy. I'm sure if there's not a lot going on and they just need that little bit of interjection or get a little bit of creativity, he's a little something up their sleeve. He's a little something that Jason Rolls can deploy on us. So keep your eyes peeled on Dylan Walker. But yeah, look, I really don't know what to say. Our bench has done a fantastic job. I know we praise a lot of the guys that start the game, but your bench, they have to come in and continue to do a job. And, a lot of these guys, like let's talk about Pasami. We haven't really sunk our teeth into Pastrami. So I know he's your favorite TikTok. Him and his fiance.
Mr. Kate.
Kate, I know you love them and all their content, but he has honestly been a guy, like when he did leave the club, I want to say 2022, if that's right. That sounds about right in my head. After debuting, I want to say 2020, he did play All-Stars. He was a guy that, you thought, all right, he looks the part, right? Eye test it. He's like, yeah, looks the mold. But then, never really kind of lit the world on fire in his first stint. Goes down to the Raiders. Obviously, I still think, like Trey Mooney, one of the great apprenticeships. When you guys got like Horsburgh, Tarpanay, and Papali'i in the building, if you're a forward in that rotation down there, you're going to be learning a thing or two off those guys. And it's no doubt, I think, much like Trey, comes out the other side, get him back. A little bit older. We all know, like, props, generally little late bloomers, they don't flower a little bit later in life. But he's been absolutely solid. Remember that? Still circle back to that Dogs game when he fucking brutally hit Josh Curran. That's going to be the biggest hit, I think, today. I can't name a bigger one this season, probably in the last few seasons. Absolutely buried the guy. Matty Croker-esque. Pastrami. So doing great things. I would not be at all shocked. Look, if JSAF, if they decide to rest him, if you pull a guy like, Pasami to start the game, I am not going to be, I'm not going to be whinging whatsoever. They go with Tyson for a bit more experience, or whatever. But Pasami's just quietly improving, and I'm liking what I'm seeing and building nicely on his game. So, he could be the guy moving forward. obviously JSAF isn't going to be around forever. Maybe he's got that eye, it's going to be the 1-2 punch of, Pasarami Solo and Trey Mooney moving forward. Who knows? But we've seen some really nice little green shoots from our boy Pastrami. So it's been nice to see. It's been a nice homecoming for Pasami. I've missed it. And he's come back within, what I will say, he came back with a much better style about him. The hair that man's rocking when he first, have you seen the hairdo that he previously had with us, Lou?
I think so. It was short, wasn't it?
Did him no favors. None. The guy was like a solid, respectfully, Pasami, I want to say a 5. The guy is pushing high eights. High eights on a bad day. So kudos to you, Pasami. So aging like fine wine, brother. But yeah, is there anything else I missed? Is the chat fucking lighting up? They wanted me to talk really about anything? Or is it kind of like,
did you mention the weather?
yes, well, the weather's predicted to be a little bit wet. It's been fucking wet everywhere. Basically, Magic Round has just seemed to have brought the worst out of Mother Nature at the moment. So, look, that could absolutely play a huge factor in this game. What they all call the great equalizer, the wet weather. I don't think that's going to be the case for us whatsoever. I hope it is dry, somewhat dry. I'm not a massive fan of wet weather footy.
Be on the hill.
We are going to be on the hill. Well, we'll talk about it now. So we are coming down. Lou and I coming down. We're going to be with quite a few of our mates. So we got our good mate Kyle, who was over in Vegas with the Just Mates boys. Russ, my apparent doppelganger. So all of us are going to be fucking together on the hill cheering on the Knights. And we're just going to be just shooting the shit together. We very rarely get an opportunity where we can all come together. So, yeah, that's going to be us. There's going to be a posse of us. It's going to be the who. Oh, Nilso too. Fuck, what am I? So I'm living at Nilso as well. So all of us, which never happens. Never happens. It's like it's like, what do I call it? The fucking
Avengers Assemble.
The Newcastle Knights fucking content creators assemble. Here we are at one time. Fucking Thanos must be in the building because we've come together. We're going to fucking team up on the bastard. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. We will be doing after the game, head down to Grain-Fed Brewery. We're all going down there. There's going to be the Parramatta boys have put on an event too. They got karaoke. It's going to be a fucking fun time. Post-game, we're all going down to Grain-Fed. All right, so clear your calendar after that. So game's over. Head down to Grain-Fed. That's where we are going to be. Go get some game day lagers. After we pump the fucking Parramatta Eels, well, all the other Parramatta creators that are going to be there, you can go stick it to them. Apart from Troy. You can give Troy a cuddle. You don't have to stick it into him. He's one of the good ones.
A cuddle and a beer.
Cuddle and a beer. You can go stick it to Adam. I'll point Adam out. If you don't know who he is, I'll point him out. Don't you worry. Yeah, all right, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's take a look at your lock-it-ins, battlers.
It's time to lock it. It's time to lock it in.
All right. Speaking of grain-fed, let's take a look at your grain-fed brewery lock-it-ins. Whether you're predicting a masterclass from your favorite player or you're just predicting the boys to get a big win, make sure you have a cold grain-fed in hand. Bold flavors, bold predictions. Lock it in with grain-fed. All right, I'm going to give you mine before we get to yours. I got Kalyn Ponga. I'm going to do it. He's going to play. I've got 2 try assists for our boy Kalyn Ponga. He just keeps on giving. He just unlocks whatever is around him at that point. Going to get the 2 try assists this game. Dylan Brown is going to get a try against the Parramatta Eels. And it's going to be a dagger in the heart of every single Parramatta supporter at McDonald Jones Stadium or all those watching wherever they are watching. That is going to happen. Dylan Brown's going to bag a try. Greggy Marzu and Dominic Young are going to combine for 350-plus run meters. They're going to get the job done. So lock that shit in. We're going to complete at 85%. Even in wet weather football, it's going to happen. We're going to win the possession with 55%. 13+, lock that shit in. Knights are going to win both halves. That's it. That sounds like a fantastic game of football to me, right? All right, what have we got, Lou? Hit me. All right, Justin. Dylan Brand double, even better. I will certainly take that. Dominic Young Hattie, fuck it. I honestly, surely, what are our wingers paying for anytime try scorers at this point? It's got to be suspended. Like, let's be real. If I don't know how bookies are making any money off anytime try scorers off either of those boys. The Knights will run for 2,000 plus run meters. Nice to have 13 plus tackle breaks. Knights to score first and last. Knights 20 plus. Love the enthusiasm. Well, as I said before, the Eels have a tendency to fall asleep in defense and have a shitload of points put on them. So could absolutely happen again. Lock it in. Knights skewer squeals. Flying Fletcher combines for 3 or more. Dillbag's try assist for a forward and a back rower up the middle. And a Parawanker Adam to break his TV. Yes, bonus points for sticking it to Adam. Love it. Good stuff. Mortal enemy of the United. All right, Chris, what do you got, big dog? Sharp 2 tries. Fuck yeah. Just eating shit up there on that fucking left edge. McEwen, anytime try scorer. Love that. Jermaine getting through some work at the moment. So loving that for Jermaine. Nice to kick between 590 to 600 meters. Eels to miss between 40 to 45 tackles. Knights 13 plus. Knights win both halves. I will just hook that into my veins. I will take that every day of the week. Thank you, Christopher.
Got a state of origin, lock it in.
Oh, let's take a look at this one. All right. State of origin, lock it in. Ponga, anytime try scorer. 99% of the time, that gets me going. That one doesn't. I do not want to see it. Respectfully, Justin, I do not want to see Kalyn Ponga anywhere near the try line. Dylan Lucas to score a double. Oh, that'll get me going. New South Wales to complete at 80%. New South Wales to have 45 plus tackle breaks. New South Wales to score first. New South Wales 1-12. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be 13 plus at all. It's going to be very interesting. I don't think we've ever come into an Origin series. I know it's been spoken about plenty of times, but just where the officiating is going to be. Like, what are we going to get? If it's anything like the NRL, it's going to be uncharted territory because we've kept speaking about it here. The PVL ball, the way the 6 agains are shaped, and you know how attacking eccentric the NRL is at the moment. If that bleeds into Origin, what does that even look like? I don't even know what to prepare for. So, yeah. Anyways, Carly, you mad dog. What do you got? Dylan Brown has scored the first try for the Eels in our last 2 games against them. Is that so? Lock it in. Dill Brown for the first try. Oh, he did too. He scored in the first minute. You're right. That one's just come back to me. You're right, Carly. You smart egg. Lock Dill in for the first try of the game against the Eels on his 150th. That's just poetry. That just writes itself, right? If the rugby league gods are writing scripts, that one is just the no-brainer, Carly. I'm with you. You're right. He did. That's actually, fuck it. I'm going to remind me, Lou, I'm going to put a little cheeky something on Dylan Brown to be the first try scorer. Roll that into Jacob Saifiti's scoring in Origin is juicy. I like it. Sal, it's raining brown. Fuck, I hope not. That sounds terrible. Hey? Oh, my Lord. Hey? Jeez. Brown 3 tries. This Para gets sucked into the muddy puddles. 13 plus. Fucking beautiful. Hope it just, if it's like poo, I don't want it to rain poo, but it might be raining poo on the Para supporters. Maybe that's what you kind of meant in the symbolic way. All right. Is that it? One more. All right, Matty Pryor, what do you got, big dog? Marzu and Dom Young with a double. Fuck it. Let's just get them both up. Let's honestly just have these 2 boys break our single season try scoring record together. You know what I mean? Let's just have them finish across the finishing line together. You know what I mean? I'm loving that. Dylan Brown with a try and 3 try assists. Parramatta supporters, oh mate, they are just gonna be absolutely in depression with that. Gagai to swap jerseys with Addo. Fuck, I keep forgetting to bring that up. Yes, that's who I was going to lock in too. Sorry, I keep forgetting to bring that up as a lock it in. Battlers, please, every time you do a lock it in, drop in who Dane Gagai swapping jerseys with. But yes, I agree with you. I think it's going to be Josh Addo. There's no one else really jumping off the page. I think it's going to be, yeah, they obviously had a little bit of an Origin battle, you know, Origin competitors there. And yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think you're right with that one too, mate. I think we're on the money there. Is there odds? There should be odds. on that, shouldn't there? Who Dane Gagai is going to be swapping jerseys with? Anyways, good stuff, Battlers. Loving them. Loving the confidence. I'd love to see Adams just so we could laugh at it. That'd be hilarious. All right, let's do it. Let's answer some burning questions.
Burning questions.
Now, Battlers, if you work in a business, chances are you are not prepared for fire and or emergency, just like the Parramatta Eels are just about to experience. So make sure you get in contact with Get Out Alive Fire Safety Training for your training, your plans, and your procedures. Because if you do not learn, you're going to burn. All right, let's answer some burning questions, Lou.
All right, we've got a voicemail. Just
Have
give
we?
it a minute to open up because the computer's having a moment.
Suspense is killing me.
G'day, Link, Lou and fellow battlers. They say a week is a long time in rugby league, and I tell you what, a week without the night, it feels like forever, if I'm honest. Yes, it's finally Teamless Tuesday, and we're taking on the Parramatta Eels in the Dylan Brown Cup. We're going to beat those bastards. But anyway, Link, I've got a hypothetical for you.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's go.
You're assembling a 5-man Knights past or present supergroup to record an album. Who's in the band? What instrument does each one play? What genre are they? And do they headline the Newcastle Entertainment Centre or go straight to the pub circuit? Love to hear your thoughts.
Ooh, great hypothetical. All right, my visceral reaction to that is I've got to have Greg Marzu just out front. He's just an entertainer. Like, he's in impeccable form at the moment. He's just lock him in. He's just going to be the front man of this band. I don't even know what I'm going to call it, but he's the front man. Out the back, who's a psycho that's going to smash the fuck out of some drums? Who's going to strike me as a bit of a drummer? Who's someone who can keep? You know what? Fuck it. Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown. Good management, keeping shit going. Good looking cat too. We want this to be a good looking band. Dylan Brown on drums. Kalyn Ponga sort of strikes me as a little bit of a. I think Kalyn would bust out an acoustic guitar every now and then. I think he's got a little bit of a soulful, artistic side about him. So I'm going to chuck him on there. Brady Best strikes me as a bass player. I could just sit those massive fucking tackle breaking legs of his would just be slapping the fuck out of that bass.
Slap at a bass.
Slap at a bass. And we're going to go another guitarist, or we're going to go. Do we go like fucking keyboards here, Lou? What do you reckon?
Oh.
No, let's go another guitarist. Who's going to pair up with KP? Give me. You know who would look good on a guitar? Dominic Young. He's just a good looking. This is a good looking band. Yeah. This is a really good looking band. Fuck it, yeah. That's my band. Let me know what you'd call that band, but that's a hot band. Actually, minor change. Dylan Brown, I'm subbing out. I'm going to put in Phoenix Crossland on the drums. That makes sense. He looks like a drummer. He's got the hair for it, everything. Yeah, that's the one minor change. I'm subbing that out, mate, if I'm thinking out loud, but yeah, that's it.
You said Greg Marzu as a singer.
Oh, fuck yeah. Just dance, just everything. Forget the Michael Jackson biopic. You're going to get the fucking Greg fucking Marzu biopic. Fucking oath. The Lilicios. That's got a ring to it. The Lilicios. Or just Lilicio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Another voicemail.
All right.
There we go.
Something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ethan Strange. North Queensland. Let's go Blues. Let's go Knights. Let's get the double this week. The Blues and the Knights. Good feeling we can do a double. We can beat Queensland. We can against the Eels. I don't care what bloody Queensland say. Oh, we don't get saved, Roger. Yes, we bloody do.
Stick it, Clint.
Have a clue. Have a good one, guys.
On you, brother.
Go to Knights. Go to Blues.
Fucking oath, brother. Stick to those fucking Queensland bastards. Got a great singing voice, Clint. Might I add. Just hope Facebook, I hope YouTube doesn't ping us. We might get a copy. Your singing might be that good. You actually do get pinged for that shit nowadays, Clint. So, word of warning, mate. Just don't be too good a singer, mate. But yeah, Ethan Strange coming in. Don't mind it at all. I think this guy's going to be a staple for the Blues for a long time. It sucks. I love Mitchell Moses, particularly in State of Origin football. Real competitor. I just love everything. The kind of player he is. And but with that said, Ethan Strange is going to get his shot to pair up with Nathan Cleary as well. He's just had some rotten luck. He's kind of like Brady. There's been so many occasions where he's been called upon, Mitchy Moses, and unfortunately, injuries got the best of him. So, yeah, we're all backing in Ethan Strange to get the job done there. What a breakout. Like, obviously made the Ashes squad with, what's his name? Kevy Walters. So, yeah, real meteoric rise for this bloke. So, yeah, cheering him on, mate. Let's hope he has a fucking rip and tear on Wednesday, tomorrow night.
Dallas just said, we got a flood warning, apparently. I just got told King Street started minor flooding.
Oh, shit. Torrential rain. Yeah, well, let's hope it gets over and done with. Yeah. Stay safe, battlers.
Snedden said band name, Tries on the left.
Yeah, tries.
And Sal said KP and the Mullet Boys.
KP, yeah. Fucking KP and the Mullet Boys. I like that. There's a lot of mullets in this team. It'll work. It'll fucking work.
Christopher's asked, Link, which 3 current Knights players would you take on a camping trip?
Ooh. I would immediately go with Kalyn Ponga and Dylan Brown. That's just locked in. I'm taking those 2 boys. Do you know who and this one's a bit weird, hypothetical, but I don't think between us 3 at the moment would know a lot about camping. We're going to need a country lad. We're going to need someone who knows a thing, who we can lean on for a little bit of camping advice. And the first bloke that comes to my mind is Fletcher Hunt. Just country lad on the land. He knows his shit. He's got a couple of city boys coming in, not knowing what the fuck's going on. Fletcher Hunt, good for a laugh too. Shout out to eternally grateful that man kicking that ball in our direction for me to get the game ball as well. I shot him a message as well. I didn't realize Jude had footage of it, which I post up on our stories as well. So eternally grateful. So for that too, Fletcher Hunt can come. He can be our, what do you call them? Like when you go camping and there's like the guide, what do they call those again? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, we're just like the tourists, and he's like the guy that, he's just come in his wide brim hat and his car keys, and, he'd be that dude.
Matthews asked, rate out of 10 on the Newcastle Knights performances.
Rate out the Newcastle Knights performances this season. Do you mean individually or just as a whole? As a whole, I would say where we are right now. Looking back, you got to look at the expectation, right? You can't compare it to other clubs, because if you're going to go comparing it to, say, the Panthers, your scores are going to be all over the place. But if we're looking at it, if you could go back in time, right, and grab yourself after we just won the wooden spoon, after the Parramatta Eels had just put fucking 66 points on us in the last game of the year, and we're just heads are spiraling. We're just going, what the fuck is going on? We don't even know if Kalyn Ponga is going to re-sign, and all this shit's going on, right? Attack looks horrible. Defense looks shit. It's just, right. You grab that bloke, chuck him in a time machine, and you sit down and you play every fucking game we played this year and give him the news that Kalyn Ponga re-signed, all this shit. And you go, mate, where are you at now? Even with the losses and everything, mate, he would be saying, mate, you kidding me? It's going to be like at least an 8 out of 10. Well, you couldn't give it honestly, you couldn't give it any less than 8 out of 10. For a new coach to come in and a complete and utter 180, you look at some teams who, Broncos, Melbourne, Canberra, Dogs. Like, look at all your top 4 teams from last year. They are going fucking busted ass. And then you look at us, completely and utterly rejuvenated. So, I think anything less than an 8's pretty bloody harsh. I don't know what more you'd want. Like this has exceeded all our expectations. And a lot of people, the fact that a lot of people, I think then these people are probably going back through their history and deleting all these posts, had us as like winning the spoon again is just wild. But yeah, you'd have to say 8, right? You let me in the chat. You let me know. But thinking back to where my head was and seemingly in despair, and I know I was saying, start of the year, be patient. It could be clunky. I could just see people going, there's Dill Brown deals a bust. It's not working, blah, 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 blah. And then come Vegas, Rays is on fire. Dill looks fucking great in 7. KP's back to fucking his best. The back line looks like 2023 back line. J-Sap's rejuvenated. He's playing Origin football again. Dill Lucas is back from his injury. He's looking great. McEwen's having the best games of his career. The list goes on. Pasami, who we talked about, he's come back. He looks like he looks great. Trey Mooney. Yeah, like I think anything less than an 8, I think you'd be pretty bloody harsh considering how much has changed outside of the squad. Just in the building as coaching and all the new systems and how quickly we bought into it. And the fact that we picked up some wins when we had some big injuries is pretty fucking crazy too. So
yeah, Matthew said as a whole, and he said, totally agree. 8 out of 10 without our star players.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like if we were completely uninjured, we were full strength all the time, and we had some disappointing games, but geez. I know we had a couple of games there where it was starting to get tough and, against the Panthers and the Roosters and, the Roosters, we started really well in the first half and fell off, but, there was a lot of inexperience there and that, long-term does us well. I know short-term it's a bit of pain. You're getting beaten when you got some younger guys in the team, but, they learn from that, but I'd have to say an 8. Absolutely. I'm look where we are on the ladder at the moment. This is wild. This is so good. Like we're equal. I know some teams have had extra buys and all this sort of shit, but aren't we like equal? It's only 4 and against. I think we're like equal 4th. Like, give me that, please. I'm sure Manly would say the same shit. Manly would be in the exact same boat as us, given how they started. And then when we beat them down in 4 Pines compared to now, like they've had a real bounce back too, unfortunately. But yeah.
Read out some of the battlers' scores. They started said 6.5.
Hard taskmaster, eh? Fucking 6.5, okay. 7 or 8. That's fair.
He said 2 and 7 from 11 with all the injuries we've had is awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I remember you mad bastard, when we beat the Raiders at that game, and we're just going, what's going on? We didn't have our superstars. We got the job done. Like, yeah, in the fashion of how we've won games too has been very pleasing. So, yeah, I think we're in a real good spot. As I said, for this spine to have played less than 15 games together, what's this spine going to be like once they've played 50 NRL games together? You know what I mean? Like,
Justin said overall, I'd say 7.
Yep.
Holly said 8 for me. Boys need work on defense.
Yeah, but with that said though, Carly, like this is hard. Look, I agree with you, but then you look at the competition as a whole and you look at how much points are being scored across the board, and you got to think, is our defense that bad? I know it looks bad when you're probably looking at it at previous years, but then is that fair? Because you look at how many points are scored now and how quickly it can come, even against some good teams, leak a lot of points. I think, I don't know, the way rugby, we're in a weird spot where there's never been more points scored. So I don't know, mate, it might look as if your defense is bad, but really under the way the game's kind of been officiated and played, it mightn't be that bad. It's just we're used to conceding less points. I don't know. I'm still, as I said, like about Origin. Origin's going to be weird. If Origin's going to be kind of officiated and kind of they want it to be what the regular season like Telstra Premiership competition is, it's going to be odd because historically it's always been different, and I think it absolutely should be a little bit different, but. It might, yeah. Respectfully, Carly, I don't know. You might look and go, well, you know what? It might be that bad. When you look at teams like the Eels and shit, like their defense is Terrible.
Sneddon said defense has had some huge laps. Only reason I marked us at 6.5. I think attacking wise, they are a cut above 80% of the comp.
Yeah, there was certainly some issues in and around. I know Sandon's had some issues. I know there was a lot between the 3 and 4 man on the left edge early on. I remember when we even played against Manly, there was some real touch footy kind of stuff. That seemed to be a real problem area to begin with. And then when we noticed it, didn't we? When Brady was absent, we didn't really realise. And unfortunately, Fletcher Hunt, he had a really great game. He got, Tony Forge player. I gave him a 3. First half had in all that stuff, and then wasn't it the Panthers just pulled us to pieces. So again, yeah, look, wasn't great. We looked like a team. We kept saying it, a month or so ago, didn't we? Like, we look like a team that kind of needs a bye. We've had some big injuries. We've had some young guys in there. We've had some tough losses. A bye right about now would be nice, just a nice little refresh. But we came out the other side. But what I will say there, we haven't had 50 put on us, right? Like, there's been some, like the Eels have conceded. They conceded in the first week. They have had a whole preseason and they come out and dish that up. Like, we didn't do that, So I understand what you're saying, but it's a new defensive system. All in all, though, it's absolutely a resounding pass. I think anyone's looking at it going, nah, we should have been going better than this. So that's the encouraging part.
Vic said, I'm worried if KP backs up with the NRL physio's comments on his podcast 2 weeks ago, back from injury, then 2 games in 3 days, large workload for KP. Ross.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting. It could be just Holbrook might have absolutely no intention of playing him, and it's just ducks and drapes. He's playing 4D chess with Jason Rolls. It's just throwing that name Kalyn Ponga out. So you have to do your homework on Kalyn Ponga. If you're expecting to play Kalyn Ponga, you're going to be doing tape on the guy. So I can understand from that. He might seriously be like, I don't need to play him. I don't want to play him for where we are. Like, he might be looking and going, well, we're a red hot chance of playing finals. Yeah, let's just rest him this game. We're in a position where, if you can put Fletch back there and make some other moves, or Fletcher Hunt or Razor or whatever it might be. We've got options. We absolutely have options. So, yeah.
Josh said 2 buys during Origin time and 1 last round was Sharks and Bronx away will be hard. Rest of the games are very winnable with our form at the moment. Keep a fit team, top 4 finish will happen.
Mate, if we honestly keep the team healthy, those teams that you named, Wars, Sharks and Broncos, why can't we go toe-to-toe with them? Respect, like I know Wars are killing at the moment, but look, no Tanner Boyd. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, unfortunately, another ACL, which is devastating for them. They're 2 big losses for them. A lot can happen between now and then. And I'd like, obviously the more time we can get these guys playing together, if we can keep them fit and healthy, I think our attack can go toe-to-toe with anyone. Just defense, yep, I agree. The defense has got to catch up with the offense, but the Sharks don't really worry me, if I'm going to be honest. Broncos, the way they're going at the moment, I'd love to be playing them right now. I cannot wait for that fucking game. I think we could fucking school them. I think we're just going to be a team that's just only going to get better and better, which is the exciting part. Here's this new team that's just learning to. We had this dog come into our yard today, this fucking energetic puppy. I don't know what it's. Mine's immediately gone to this big gangly. What was it, like a German Shepherd pup? This thing was so excited. It was so excited it could barely run. It's fallen over itself. That's the Knights at the moment. We don't even know how fast we can run. We're so good. There's endless, boundless potential in this team, and we're still trying to find out what that is. I feel like that's that puppy dog that snuck into our backyard today. Very cute dog, by the way. Naughty dog, but cute.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Justin's asked a very interesting question.
What's he asked?
Who organised this trip to Newcastle? Was it Link or Lou?
I would like to think, mate, where we are staying, we are not going to get booted out, mate. So
no, thankfully our plans change and we are.
No.
Yeah, it's we're not going to have any interruptions.
No, we're not. We're good. We're solid. All right. We learn from these. That's what the great teams and the great athletes do. They learn. Like Magic Round. I guarantee next year, Magic Round, you would like to think your boy doesn't go so hard on night 1 where, he's really fucking struggling. Full kit wanker game. I came good by then. You wouldn't have known. I did bounce back, but
Someone had to shake Lincoln away.
Holy
saying,
fuck,
Are
I
we
was-
going to Magic Round, Lincoln?
Oh, there was a brief moment. I'm disappointed in myself. There was a fleeting moment where I'm like, can I even do this?
He did not look good,
I
Battles.
was fucked. Shout out to Brooke, came through with the Powerade. Fuck, I need that Powerade. And then you got the frozen Coke from KFC, and that kind of perked me up. And then I once I got going, I was good. I
Came
found
good
my
on the train.
found my front and just got into my stuff, and yeah, we were good.
Also, apologies, Battlers. The Magic Round vlog hasn't been put up yet. What did I do last week, Lincoln?
Oh yeah, talking about finding your front.
I fell tits up
Yeah.
from the concrete pavement right onto bitumen onto my knees. So
Mm.
I've been wounded.
Yeah.
I have sensitive knees.
Yeah, someone's suing the shit out of the Ipswich City Council. Strap yourself in, eh?
God.
Pay our house off. Go sue the shit out of them. It was a pretty fucked up footpath, though.
Yeah,
Say
it
that
is.
much.
Pete's asked, if you could swap lives with any Newcastle Knights player in our time right now, who would it be and what would you do while living their life?
Oh, it'd be hard to pass Dylan Brown, knowing that guaranteed you're going to be playing for the great club for 10 years and getting paid pretty fucking well. That one's at the top of my list. If I'm going to be honest with you, Dylan Brown just comes straight to my head. Because you got 10 years. 10 years. $1 million a year, 10 years. What would I do apart from winning premierships? Oh, mate, I don't know. That's a bloody good question. What I would do, this is what I do. I would start a potty with one of the boys. Bit of BTS stuff with the boys. That's what I would do. Yeah. What was I keep forgetting it. What was Kalyn Ponga and Connor Watson's and Matty Croker's potty again?
Had numbers in it.
153 collective, 3, something like that. Something. We need another one of those. That's what I'd do. Bit of that. Yep. All good. I've extinguished all the burning questions. Great stuff, battlers. Good stuff. All right. If you can do so, if you're listening to the podcast thereafter, give us a 5-star review. What the fuck are you doing? The team's flying at the moment. So's the potty. Everyone's just in a good mood. Just hand out the 5-star review. It's that fucking simple. And wherever you are on social media, guarantee you we're there. Go like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Getting those YouTube subs in nicely. Let's keep that going. Thank you very much. But yes, keep your eyes peeled. In Newcastle, we'll be doing the rounds. With Nilso, Russ, Just Mates boys, Kyle Hunter.
Here it is. Carly's come in. 257.
257. I had 3 in my head for some reason. 257. There you go. We'll be doing the rounds there. Come up, say hello, have a beer with us, all that good stuff as we pound the Parramatta Eels into the core of the earth. Hopefully, unlike Sal was saying, it's not going to be raining brown. That'll be terrible. Don't want that at all. And then, yes, by all means, head down to Grain-Fed Brewery after the game. Post-game celebration. We're all going to be there. Going to be doing some content, all the fun stuff. Come and have a beer with us. It's going to be a good time. Battlers, we're going to get the Animo Brian out of here. We've got another big night tomorrow night at Caxton Street Brewing Co. with the New South Wales Blues Stream Team. We're getting out of here. Go the Blues, and we'll see you guys in Newcastle this weekend.